Professor Kamakumar sir.
Yes, Professor.
Am I audible?
Yes, Professor. Yes, Professor. Just a second, sir. We'll start immediately.
Okay.
Swastika.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Shall I start?
Swastika.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're audible.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome you all to the second session of PCI MT 21. Let me introduce the speaker of this session, Dr. P. Tirshakti Murugan, Professor and Head, Department of E&I, PTU. He has completed his bachelor degree in electrical and electronics engineering and has done his master degree in instrumentation engineering, and he has also done his PhD in control and instrumentation engineering. He has an experience of 23 years in research areas. He has also worked as a scientist in DRDO for 1 year. He has published 7 international journals and 25 international conferences and 5 national conferences. He is a life member in Indian Society for Technical Education and in Instrumentation Society of India. And he is also a member of IEEE. He has also done research projects in AICT MORDOB for Sensor and Transducer Lab. He is also serving as a GATE tutor. He has conducted AICT-sponsored short-term training program on design and simulation in control system engineering, and also conducted TEQIP-sponsored FDP on recent trends in measurement and automation. Now I request Dr. P. Tirshakti Murugan to take over the session.
Thank you, Swastika. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Professor, you can present your screen.
Sir, present now.
Yes. You can present. Present now.
No, in that where I can your entire screen or a window?
The window will do so. That PPT will show no.
PPT?
A window must set பண்ணிட்டு that you can select that presentation.
Okay. Share.
Yes.
Is it visible?
Yes, Professor.
Good afternoon to all, my dear friends. Today we are going to touch upon physiological control system little bit. Actually, the human body is a non-linear system. You know what is linear system and non-linear system. So here let us start from small temperature control system. Okay, so here in our body, ECF plays a vital role. Okay, what is ECF? Extra cellular fluid, ECF. So the ECF plays a very vital role. In our body, there are thousands of control systems. It is a very amazing one. Our body consists of thousands of control systems. A control is freed. Okay, control is freed here, so they can keep the physiological control system will keep the human being alive. Otherwise, they will die. Okay. Suppose, for example, a temperature control system in our physical body. So, if temperature exceeds from the normal range, say for example, 7 degrees Celsius is exceeding. Hello?
Slide change order. Slide change பண்றீங்களா இல்ல slide change பண்ணீங்களா
இல்ல இப்போ
பண்ணல. ஓகே
இன்னும் சேஞ்ச் பண்ணல.
சரிங்க அதான் கேக்குது.
Okay, let's start.
One more thing, sir. Slide show please போடுங்க சார். ஸ்லைட் ஷோ ஏனா ஸ்கிரீன் பெருசா தெரியும் எல்லாருக்கும்.
இப்ப தெரியலையா?
இல்ல சார்.
ஸ்லைட் ஷோல தான் போட்டுருக்கேன். எனக்கு ஃபுல் ஸ்கிரீன் வருது.
அப்படியே சார்.
அப்போ விண்டோல வந்து நீங்க செலக்ட் பண்ணும்போது
இருங்க. விண்டோல போடுமா?
விண்டோல ஷோ செலக்ட் பண்ணிடுங்க. இப்ப பிபிடி ஓபன் பண்ணிட்டு ஷோ போட்ட பிறகு
பிபிடி ஓபன் பண்ணிட்டு
ஷோ கொடுத்துறீங்களா, பிரசன்டேஷன் கொடுத்துறீங்களா சார்?
ஆமா.
இதுல வந்து பிரசன்ட் விண்டோல போயிட்டு நீங்க அந்த ஷோவை செலக்ட் பண்ணணும்.
இருக்கு வர.
ஓகே.
பிரசன்ட் விண்டோ.
அதுல வந்து அந்த பவர் பாயிண்ட் ஷோ இருக்கும், ஃபுல் ஸ்கிரீன்ல இருக்கிறது.
பவர் பாயிண்ட் செலக்ட் பண்ணிடுறேன்.
பவர் பாயிண்ட் ஷோன்னு ஒன்று இருக்கும், பவர் பாயிண்ட் தனியா இருக்கும் சார்.
எனக்கு இல்லையே, அப்படி ஷேர்னு தான் வருது.
முதல்ல பவர் பாயிண்ட் ஷோ கொடுத்துருங்க சார். கொடுத்துட்டு இதுல செலக்ட் பண்ணா காட்டும் சார். ஓகேவா?
சரி, இப்ப பாருங்க.
ஓகே சார்.
இப்ப என்ன தெரியுது?
இல்ல ஒன்றும் பிரசன்டேஷன் வரல சார். ஆக்சுவலா
இன்னும் வரலையா?
இல்ல சார்.
இப்போ வருதுங்களா?
எஸ் சார்.
சேம் சார். பர்ஃபெக்ட். பர்ஃபெக்ட் சார்.
ஓகே ஓகே.
Sorry for the interruption, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you for your help.
Okay, sir.
I didn't use Google Meet. I used only Zoom. Okay, sorry for the interruption.
Okay, sir.
Our human body consists of thousands of control systems. A control is free. Okay, they can keep human being alive. If, so for example, temperature control system. So this main, this extracellular fluid is the major role in the human body. So in the extracellular fluid consists of hemoglobin and other minerals, vitamins, everything is consists of here. So when more oxygen is here, so they can help us to live in this world. Okay, so if the more so when the oxygen is more, I am thankful to the ECF. So see, because I am alive, right? So so if carbon dioxide is more, this leads to death condition. Okay, death. This leads to more happily life. Okay, so living condition. So the oxygen is buffering function of hemoglobin. So this you know, we're all already all of you know, oxygen is playing major role. So the oxygen, the carbon dioxide generated by the hemoglobin passes to the heart to pump and get back the oxygen from the heart. So this information passes to a brain. Brain is the central processor. Brain is the central processor. So which commands to breathe morely. Suppose if the oxygen level is less, we have to breathe rapidly and deeply to generate more oxygen. Okay. So this is about the extracellular fluid role in the human body. So you see the baroceptors. So the baroceptors rotate in the cells. Okay. So normally the instrument used to measure the baroceptors is barometer. Barometer. Okay. So if blood pressure, BP, actually there are 4 important parameters are necessary to control. The first one is temperature, second one is blood pressure, third one is oxygen saturation. Okay, then importantly pulse rate. So these 4 parameters are very important for the physiological control. So temperature control is very important, blood pressure is very important, oxygen saturation is also very important, similarly pulse rate. So each and every controller is having its own range to maintain the levels, their respective levels. If it exceeds the limit, then it leads to death. Suppose if blood pressure increases in the blood pressure, it stretches the arterial wall. Okay, arterial wall that stimulates the baroreceptors in the cells. So send the nerve impulses to the medulla. Okay, medulla which is present in the brain. Okay, medulla. So the medulla which inhibits the vasomotor center. Okay, so which is doing double roles. So dilation of blood cells and pumping activity of your heart. So these two tasks done by the vasomotor center. Okay, so which is which helps to reduce the increase in blood pressure here. So when the blood pressure increases, these steps are involved in the medulla. So this reduces the blood pressure back to normal. Okay, so which rise your blood pressure. If rise your pressure, constriction of the blood vessels. Okay, the constriction is the shortening of the diameter of the blood vessels. So the pumping activity of the heart. So because of these two problems, the blood pressure rises. So vice versa, similarly, if blood pressure reduces, so lower BP, this is higher BP fellow, this is lower BP fellow. So which stretches the arterial wall. So stimulation of baroreceptors. So loss of incubation and vasomotor center. Okay. So this is useful in the increasing the blood pressure. So let's see what are the feedback available in the ECF. So one is negative feedback, other one is positive feedback. What happens when negative feedback occurs? If carbon dioxide, increasing carbon dioxide, our breath, okay, our breath rapidly and deeply, that is called hyperventilation. So hyperventilation. So because of that, suppose if the result is opposite in the initiative stimuli, so carbon dioxide reduces. So this is called negative feedback. If CO2 increases started the events that will lead to its reduction called negative feedback. So if carbon dioxide less, our breath slowly hyperventilation. So it increases the result in opposite. This is called which initiate the stimulus. So this is positive feedback can lead to death sometimes. So this is a positive feedback leads to sometimes death. Okay, leads to death sometimes, not always. So this is a condition. Some small situation when a human hit on the car, so he had injuries or body injuries. So there is a loss of 2 liters blood. Actually, normally the heart pumps minimum 5 liters of blood per minute. Every per minute, the heart pumps 5 liters of blood. So when we heat with the car, if we lost 2 liters of blood, heart pumps less blood. Okay, only 3 liters is available. So out of 5 liters, 2 liters lost, 3 liters only available. Because of less blood to coronaries, so the coronoid condition occurs. Okay, so vicious cycle. This is called vicious cycle. So pumping activity of the heart is very less. So less in pumping activity of the heart. Okay, so since the pumping activity falls down, it leads to death. So this is called a positive feedback. Okay, so this happens sometimes. So similarly, blood. Okay, our blood 1 liter only losses. So heart pumps less blood. So it causes the negative feedback. So kick to override the positive feedback. So we may not die. Okay, the human being may not die. So this is the difference between positive feedback and negative feedback control in the human body. So you see, this is the drawbacks of positive feedback. Positive feedback. Drawbacks of sometimes. So the bleeding, you see here, bleeding, activation of the clotting cascade, act on enzymes in the adjacent vessel. So uterine contractions sometimes push to the baby to the cervix. Okay, so which stretches the cervix. So again, it is a cycle. So these are all example for positive feedback. One of the simplest and most fundamental physiological control system is, say, I am going to explain with the muscle stretch reflex. So with this example, the most notable example of this kind of reflex is knee jerk. Okay, our jerk in the knee. So which is used in a routine medical examinations as an assessment of the state of nervous system. A sharp tap to the patellar tendon in the knee leads to abrupt stretching of extensor muscle in thigh. Okay, in thigh to which the tendon is attached. This activates the muscle spindle, which are stretch the receptors, neural impulses. Okay, so which encode information about the magnitude of the stretch, how much size of magnitude the stretch happen in the knee. Okay, muscle stretches in the knee reflex. Okay, so since each afferent nerve synapses with one motor neuron in the spinal cord, the motor neurons get activated and in turn send different efferent neural impulses back to the same thigh muscle. These produce contraction of the muscle that acts in the straighten to the lower leg. So automatically it comes back to the original position. Okay. So first this and other stretches reflexes involve reflex arcs that are monosynaptic. That is, what are monosynaptic? Only two neurons and one synapse are employed in the reflex, the thigh muscle reflex. Other reflexes have at least one interneuron. So the interneuron control system is very important role in the thigh muscle stretch reflex. Okay, so this is a closed loop regulation of muscle length is accomplished in a completely involuntary fashion as a name called reflex suggestion. You see the block diagram. In this block diagram, the thigh extension, okay, thigh extension motor acts as plant. So this is a closed loop control system. So this acts as a plant. The muscle spindle acts as a feedback. Okay, this is the controller. Controller here is reflex center. Okay, that is spinal cord. So our backbone, spinal cord is the main controller in the reflex. Okay, in the thigh muscle reflex. So this is the feedback signal coming from the muscle spindle. So this is the control signal goes to the plant. Here the plant is nothing but the thigh extensor muscle. So you see, understand how a closed loop control system works in the human body, especially muscle reflex. The third important feature in the muscle stretch reflex is that it provides a good example of negative feedback in physiological control system. So this is a negative feedback. Actually, we can put it here, a negative feedback. So this is the reference. The reference are normal level of the eye position. So this is the feedback. This is the feedback. Clear? So this is a negative feedback control system. This is a good example. The muscle stretch reflex is a good example for negative feedback control system. The thigh muscle now corresponds to the plant that is already discussed. The disturbances are the more amount of initial structures, say when we meet some accidents. So these are all disturbances. Okay, so sorry, these are all different disturbances. These are all the change in the neural frequencies. You can also have the frequency response for this control system. So the disturbance is the amount of initial stretch produced by the tap to the knee. So this produces proportional amount of stretch in muscle spindles, which acts as the feedback sensor. The spindle translates the mechanical quantity into an increase in afferent neural traffic sent back to the reflex center in the spinal cord, which corresponds to our control. In turn, the control action is in an increase in afferent neural traffic directed back to the muscle, which subsequently contracts in order to offset in the initial stage. It is indeed a negative feedback system, since the initial disturbance leads to a controller action that is aimed at reducing the effect of disturbances. So let's see what are the difference between a human control system, physiological control, and the engineering control. So engineering control system designed to accomplish a defined to perform a particular task, and frequently governing the parameters which should have been fine-tuned extensively so that the system will perform a task in an optimal manner. Okay, that is to perform some the expected performance. So that is happening in the engineering control system. Whereas in physiological control system are built for versatility and may be capable of serving several different functions. Example, primary purpose of respiratory system is used to provide gas exchange. So gastroenterology, okay, it is called gastroenterology, gas exchange. For example, some heartburn or some gastric problems. So these are all the problems occur in the physiological control system. So a secondary but also important function is to facilitate the elimination of heart from the body. So it is happening here. So in engineering control system is synthesized by designer. Characteristics of its various components are generally known. So everything is known. Even plant model also known. Suppose if you want to control a engineering system, plant model is well known. Whereas we cannot, very difficult to model physiological control system. So model is very difficult. Here model is easy. So that's why these are all linear, mostly linear and non-linear possible. Whereas in physiological control system, all are non-linear only. Non-linear. We may not say for example, I am having BP range from 90 to 130, but the same thing may not be expected from other body. Even for me also, sometimes 90 systole and diastole values are 90 and 130, may vary sometimes from 80 to 160, 140 or like that. So the physiological control system is not consistent. Okay, it is not, all are non-linear. So generally physiological control systems are non-linear. So we may not be able to model the parameter. You see here, this is an example for interneuron control system, interneural control system for the thigh muscle. The thigh extension muscle is again a plan. It's a plan. So the muscle spindle is feedback. So the previous diagram is modified with various interneurons. Say various interneurons occur in the thigh reflexor muscle. Okay. So other extension muscles. This is thigh extension muscle. Other extension muscles. So the tap-induced stretch acts as disturbance. So this is an example for other interaction with the other interneuron control system in the physiological system. So there is an extensive degree of cross coupling. That's why I'm telling. So interaction among the different interneurons. So the interneurons. So cross coupling. That is called cross coupling. So there is an extensive degree of cross coupling of or interaction among different physiological control systems. The proper functioning of cardiovascular system, for instance, is to extend the large depend on interaction with the respiratory, renal, endocrine, and other organ systems. For example, some branches of afferent nerves also snaps with the motor neurons. That motor neurons that leads to other extensor muscles in the thigh. Okay, the thigh acts as synergistically with the primary muscle to straighten. Okay, to straighten the lower leg. Similarly, secondly, other branches of afferent nerves snaps with the interneurons, which in turn snaps with the motor neurons that leads to the flexor or antagonist muscles is called antagonist muscles. However, the interneurons introduce polarity change in the signal. Okay, polarity change in the signal that increase in afferent neural frequency produces a decrease in afferent neural traffic that is sent to the flexor muscles. So this has the effect of relaxing the flexor muscles so that they do not counteract with the activity of extensor muscles. So this is again the modified, the sign change occur here. Okay, you see the previous diagram. So these things change. Okay, this is here. So whereas this is shifted to here in this diagram. So that's a polarity change. Let's see here. So it is changed to here. So remaining things are same. So this is nothing but change in gamma, the frequency, efferent frequency, higher centers. So voluntary control. So this is the plant. Again, this muscle spindle is the feedback sensor. So which is also controlled, the feedback signal from the higher centers, voluntary control also given to the muscle spindle feedback. So so together goes to the reflex center, which is access the reflex center. This is access the controller. Access the controller. So the physiology system are adaptive. So this means that the system may be able to offset any change in output, not only through feedback, but also allowing the controller or plant character. While this reflex plays a protective role in regulating muscle stretch, it also can hinder the effects of voluntary control of the muscles involved. So this is the voluntary muscle control. So this again used for active control purpose. That is the statement here. For instance, when voluntary flexed the knee, the stretched reflex, it is kept unchanged, would come into play, and this would produce effects that oppose the intended movement. Okay, when a higher center sends signal down to the alpha motor neurons to the elicit, the contraction of the flexor muscles and the relaxation of the extensor muscle, signals are sent simultaneously down the efferent gamma nerves that they innervate the muscle spindles. These gamma signals produce effect of resetting the operating length of the muscle spindles, so that voluntary induced stretch in the extensor muscles is no longer detected by the spindle. So thus by this the brilliant activity, this system acts as adaptive arrangement. See, because of this higher center voluntary control, this acts as adaptive control. So let us see why we go for control system here. We know these are all the primary basic. So the control system is nothing but the collection of interconnected components that perform some expected target, desired response. Okay, in the presence of many disturbances. So this is all the terminology used in the control system, both physiological as well as the engineering control system. Servo mechanism, which is nothing but a regulator. Okay, regulator. Servo means feedback. Okay, a system which is having feedback to make the corrective action is called servo mechanism. Okay, so what all of you know? Suppose I will tell you a small physiological difference. I will tell you between open loop and closed loop. Say I place a small ball, very small ball on the table. Okay, I asked two fellows. One is normal eye, a man with normal eye, a man with normal eye. So another one is, sorry for saying this, blind fellow. Okay, a blind man. So who may not see the who may not have vision. I asked these two fellows to take the ball on the table. So who will pick up it correctly? The man with the vision. So straight away come and take the ball. Whereas this man, who does not have the eye, so he will search by hand here and there. Finally, he will pick up the ball. So this man with vision taking action is closed loop control system. The man without vision is trying to take the ball is open loop system. So this is a simple physiological control system. This is also a physiological control action. Okay. So this plant, this is open loop input and output without any feedback. So this is open loop. So this which is having feedback or servo path. This is called servo path. So this is called closed loop system. See, the control system mainly helps the human being to be alive. I already mentioned. Okay. So to run, to work, to sleep. Okay. So for all action, the control system helps the human being be alive. So why control is required basically? Okay, we have seen many concepts. See here, blood pH balance. So pH control comes into picture. pH control. Then urine pH balance. Okay. Then oxygen carbon dioxide balance. Then hormone balance, metabolic balance, mass index, temperature, pressure. This already we have been discussed. So this control system works under constrained conditions as a specific regulatory system connected to it tries to bring the value of normal value to the normal range. Feedbacks are involved. Okay, so there are two types of feedback involved in the physiological control system: negative feedback and positive feedback. Okay, so also it maintains the range for both feedbacks. Suppose, for example, this is temperature control system. Temperature control system. We are measuring the temperature using a digital thermometer. So this is the instrument. If it goes below the normal range, the signal should be initiated to bring back to the normal. So this is a feedback system. So this is also a feedback system. If body increases, what is the feedback? Well, if body temperature increases or decreases, what happens here? When body temperature decreases, heating mechanism activated to avoid shivering. We normally, suppose if we go to Ooty or Kodaikanal, during night times heavy cooling occurs. So our body may shiver. Okay, so during that we may use some room heaters to come back to the normal temperature. Similarly, if the body temperature increases, cooling mechanisms. So some cooling mechanism. So sweating, because of cooling, body gets sweating. So sweating mechanism, here shivering mechanism. So negative feedback. So this is the best example for negative feedback. So body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. So body temperature rises. That is called hypothalamus. So the hypothalamus in the brain starts cooling mechanism. So the temperature balancing mechanism mainly occur in the brain. Okay, not on the body, on the brain. Hypothalamus. That is called hypothalamus. So negative feedback goes here. So negative feedback goes here. Body temperature lowers. Suppose body temperature lowest to 30 degrees Celsius, 37 degrees Celsius. Suppose from 37 degrees Celsius, body temperature lowers. So what happened? Again, hypothalamus starts increasing, start heating the mechanism. So it is also negative feedback. So this is best example for negative feedback. So again, the body temperature bring back to 37 degrees Celsius. Understand? So there are we have seen the temperature. This is BP. So BP, digital BP monitor. That's all you know. So this is oxygen and pulse rate monitor. So normally you see here the light absorption, okay, as a versus time is like a half wave rectifier output. So the range, red, the wavelength of the red is 660 nanometer, infrared is 910 nanometer. So it will, the waveform between the HbO2 and Hb, hemoglobin and the oxygen levels. Okay. So this is the instrument pulse oximetry. So in that both oxygen saturation as well as pulse rate can be measured. So this is a device in the ICU. There are 8 important parameters. 8 important parameters are to be controlled in the physiological system: audiology, ophthalmology, then cardiology, urology, neurophysiology, gastroenterology, gastroenterology, respiratory, then vascular systems. Okay, so in this, the first 3, the audiology, ophthalmology, cardiology, then these are all not that much important. Okay, so here urology, the urology plays 2 roles. One is we have to control flow of urine and the pressure of the urine. So urinary, so flow and pressure. So urology, this actually next is neurophysiology. In the neurophysiology, the main device used to control and measure the parameter. These are all the 8 parameters to be measured very importantly. So the neurophysiology, EEG, okay, EEG. You know what is EEG? Anybody? Electroencephalogram. Okay, encephalogram. This actually consists of a metal electrodes which is attached to the skull. To detect the activities, of brain. Okay, using small metal electrode. So which measures epilepsy, stroke, sleep disorder, even cancer, and some other parameters can be detected using this neurophysiology. This is gastroenterology. So mainly the oropharyngeal dysphagia also phageal dysphagia. These two are the important measurement done in the gastroenterology. Okay, gastroenterology. So, which is used to detect mainly heartburn, bloating, abnormal pain in the stomach, and the alteration in the bowel habits. Okay, so to detect these things, we use these two tests. This is the respiratory curve, so which gives the amount of respiratory volume. This mainly used to sense the asthma and the respiratory related diseases. Understand? Respiratory related diseases. You see, this is vascular. This mainly this vascular used to sense the angiogram, carotid artery, angle brachial index ABI, aneurysm, then atheroscleroids, okay, sclerosis. So this is the equipment used for vascular measurement. These are all the different physiological measurement used in the control system. Actually, these physiological control system created by Glad Bernard. He noted that cells of higher organisms were always bothered in a fluid medium, that is ECF. I already mentioned. So next, Walter Cannon in 1939. So recently, he demonstrated systematically these concept workings various physiological process such as negative regulation, the regulation of adequate water and food supply through thirst and hunger sensors, the role of kidneys in regulating excess water, and the maintenance of blood acid-base balance. He went on to coin the word, okay, homeostasis, to describe maintenance of relatively constant physiological conditions. So the statics or statics. Although the end of results was a relatively unchanging condition, the coordinated physiological processes that produce the states are highly dynamic. So, as we already discussed, the thigh reflex, okay, thigh reflex. So this is the knee. So automatic regain of the position of knee. The stretch receptor, then extensor muscles, sensor neuron. So these are all various parts of this. Tendons are acting as sensors. So muscle spindle. So this also already we discussed. So this also has been compared. So in control system, we model the stretch reflex into mathematical equations. So we model the leg and the thigh, everything as a mechanical system. So you see here in the joints of the here there is a friction. There is the movement and the friction. then elastic action also in the muscle. So B is the friction, which is the leg has some mass. So when mass with the moving system called moment of inertia J, okay. So those things involved in the modeling. So you see here, so this joints, so each joint, some frictions, the angle, everything is there. That's why you see here, K is the spring action, J is the mass of the leg with the moving leg. So moment of inertia, B is friction. So our legs, our thigh is a second order system. Okay, thigh is a second order system. It is modeled as second order system. This alone means it is a linear system, since it is has the feedback. So feedback path of this. So this becomes non-linear control system. Non-linear control system. So this is pupillary light reflex. So whose model is retina. Retina is the plant. Eye retina is the plant. Plant performance. Say the total light flux is the error signal. So the light intensity is the reference signal. So the efferent neural activity, iris muscles, pupil area. Okay, pupil area. So this is given the feedback signal minus negative feedback system. So this is the mathematical model of the reflex, light reflex system. Here it is identified as a non-linear system, non-linear as well as higher order, delayed, okay, which is having lag. You see, e power minus sd lag. So higher order with lag, third order system. I see any system with first order, even first order with lag, delay, becomes a higher order system. Becomes a higher order system. Say for example, e to the power minus k, e to the power minus theta s, theta dA divided by 1 plus s tau. So this itself a higher order system. Okay. So first order plus dead time can be called as a higher order system. Here you see this pupillary light reflex is a very higher order. The denominator whose degree is 3 times. Okay. So this is a higher order system. So definitely it is non-linear. So this is frequency response of the pupillary light reflex. So this one is magnitude response. This is phase response. Okay. So see, we could see here the gain is 0.1. So here 0, this is 0.1, 0.0, 0.16, 0.05. So 0 dB. This system, the magnitude curve is not meeting the 0 dB axis. Okay, 0 dB axis. So it is unstable. It is unstable and a non-linear one. Okay. So here also there is no phase shift. Okay. So it crosses at exactly this. You see, the angles are positive. So there won't be any minus 180 degree. The face not crossing minus 180 degree line. So that's why it is unstable. Is unstable. So this is the equivalent transfer function, the overall closed loop transfer function of the pupillary light reflex. So this is feed forward path. So this is very simple, delta A by delta I, delta A by delta I. So forward path divided by 1 plus the closed loop path, 1 plus closed loop path. Say this is G, this is H. So what is forward path between delta I and the delta A reference into K1 e power minus SD divided by 1 plus S tau the whole cube. That is forward path. So overall transfer function equal to forward path. Forward path is G divided by 1 plus closed loop path. So what is closed loop transfer function? G into H. So G into H. So same thing is can be followed here. So A into K1 S tau. This is G. This is G. So same G is here. This is G. I reference. This I reference is H. So H here. So GH. So this is the closed loop transfer function of pupillary light reflex. So if you want to discuss in deep, it is a nonlinear control system. We need to do the analysis of phase plane analysis, adaptive control system, model reference adaptive control system. So many nonlinear techniques are there. You see Nyquist plot of this transfer function. Okay, so the Nyquist plot of this transfer function. So it is originating from here and finally end. So it is originating here in the zero in the 0 degree, then go on rotating and settle at this 90 minus 90 minus 180 again minus. So this is nonlinear Nyquist diagram response. Nonlinear Nyquist diagram response. So with this, let me finish my discussion. Any doubt you can ask me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the session, sir. I hope everyone would have enjoyed the session, and I will share a feedback form in this. Kindly fill out the feedback form. Thank you everyone for participating. Let's end this session.